Moving On by Karen Ortrud. When it was time to do the washing up, my brother and I would race to see who could get to the sink first. The winner would get to wash, while the loser was left with the less desirable job of drying. Our kitchen window had a view of the ocean, which could never be built out, according to my father, which was why my parents chose this block of land to build our family home. As I gazed through the window, I could see North Head, where dolphins sometimes played. Doing the dishes, I dreamed of escaping to travel the world. One of the places I taught high school was in a small country town in New South Wales called Lake Cargelligo. I loved my house and painted it inside and out all by myself. This tank beside my house, which collected rainwater, was not connected to the kitchen, so I would have to go outside to get water. My dad and I put in a new kitchen with a pipe from the tank to the sink. It made a lot of difference on icy cold mornings. My dog Blackie, a Labrador German Shepherd mixed, loved to eat doors, bathroom, back, and screen doors. So when I decided to replace the screen door, I wanted something sturdy. I was assured that this screen door was shark-proof. The current commercial on TV featured Valerie Taylor, a well-known Australian marine and shark expert, swimming in a cage made of these screens, surrounded by white pointers. However, after it was installed, I came home to find my cat, Frontenac, trapped by the neck in the strong mesh. It seems Blackie had chewed the corner of the door, twisting it back, and she had attempted to get out through the hole. It not being big enough, she got her head caught, and I had to use a whole bottle of olive oil on her neck to slide her out. Oh, poor Frontenac. Meouch! Meanwhile, Blackie was wagging his tail in greeting. Oh, what a clever dog. This book tells the stories of some of the places I've lived, so I call it Moving On.
Childhood home. This is my childhood home in Taipei, Taiwan. My family and I live in this 3-story tall apartment building. The first floor was a pharmacy, and we lived on the second floor. We had to go through this red door and walk up the stairs to our home. There was a space under the stairs. My mom raised some chickens there. So every morning I would go there, reach my hand, and get some eggs. And that would be our breakfast. We had a big backyard next to our apartment. We grew a lot of plants there. In Taiwan, it rains a lot. When it rained, I would go there and hide under a big umbrella to watch the rain falling off the leaves. There was a papaya tree. Our neighbor told me that you need a male and a female papaya tree in order to grow papayas. We only had one, and I don't know if it is male or female. I guess these papayas only grew in my dream. This is a longyam tree. My brother ate a longyam fruit and buried its seed there. Very soon, a longyam tree grew. It grew so high, it even reached the neighbor's window on the second floor. During the Chinese New Year, my brothers would build a big mound with dirt in the backyard. They would dig a hole and put a bundle of firecrackers in it, then light them up. Bang! The dirt would fly all over the place, and that was their way of celebrating the new year. These are my childhood memories from my childhood home.
Just Sitting Around by Karen Orchard. Every December, Dad would drive Mum, myself and my brother Gary into the city on his way to work for our annual Santa visit at a big department store called Grace Brothers. In the back seat, my brother and I would be fighting, asking, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" Each child would take it in turn to sit on Santa's knee and tell him what we wanted for Christmas. Then we would get our photo taken. Those were merry times together. I enjoy camping in the Australian bush in my little tent under the stars. Sitting in the quiet, smelling the eucalypts, listening to the birds, I have sometimes been joined by friends. I feel fortunate to enjoy such freedom. While living in Lake Cargelligo, I bought myself a cane chaise lounge at an estate sale and painted it green. After a busy week of teaching, I'd sit in my backyard under the trees to relax and read the paper, just taking it easy. Now I'm living in New York City in an apartment. I sit at my desk working on the computer. I used to have a wonderful cat named Alley Cat. Whenever I'd sit down to work, she would join me, nestling into my papers in the basket. She was my secretary. I call this book of chairs Just Sitting Around.
再看一眼 Gaze again. I grew up in Taipei, Taiwan. My childhood home was surrounded with vegetable fields. My parents would take a walk in the neighborhood the first thing in the morning and bring back a bunch of vegetables from a farmer on the way home. My favorite was water spinach. They look like this. Since they were fresh cut from the farm, I still remember how it felt when the dew fell in my hand. That tells you how fresh they are. There was a big road next to our apartment. When we just moved there, the road wasn't open yet. So I would lie in the middle of the road in the night to watch the stars in the sky. Because I heard a story about a baby girl who was abandoned in the snow, and she got a superpower by looking at the stars while she was laying there. She could read your mind just by looking at you. I thought, if I look at the stars long enough, I could get some sort of superpower too. After a while, the road was opened. More and more buildings rose up. The vegetable farms were all gone. It is harder and harder to find the stars in the sky now. They are all hidden behind the street lamps, or playing hide and seek between the buildings. Things change. Now I live in New York City. I will look out the window every so often and still try to find the stars I used to look at. And that is why I call this story Gaze Again. 再看一眼。
Thank you, Flushing Town Hall, for giving us this wonderful opportunity to reach out to families and especially seniors during these very difficult times.
Thank you.